Now I feel complete, I think this village for receiving me. Hey, it takes a village to build what we doing. When they found me all defeated, depleted and ruined, they rebuilt me from the ground like they salvaging ruins. I'm just grateful for my blessings, how God has been moving. Yeah, it takes a village to build what we doing. When they found me all defeated, depleted and ruined, they rebuilt me from the ground like they salvaging ruins. I'm just grateful for my blessings, how God has been moving. Yeah.
Think I figured out the formula to succeeding. Family dinner at the table, they make sure that I'm eating.
Yo.
Good, player. What's good, player?
I like how you do that.
How did you do that?
How you doing?
What's good? I'm good.
Yeah, I followed your lead.
Okay,
I'm good. I'm chilling, man. We had a major day yesterday.
Was it?
Recouping from that.
Was it? It was
recouping from that.
You want a hot take? I'm still on a hot from that day. I'm still on a hot.
Why you on a hot though?
Because it was a win.
Talk to us
and
more
the rest
about
of
that.
the night made it even better. Like the night we concluded with made it even better. We had a deep.
We had an amazing night. We had deep conversations between me, you. We FaceTimed, like Mike, Mitch. Right. We had an amazing conversation. Something I'll actually never, ever forget, honestly. So there's that.
Shared. That's what I'm talking about, Mo Def. You always in the lead. You always out of the game. That's what we like to see. Camera on Chris. Okay, thank you. I'm trying. I'm trying to make it. Thank you. But yeah, like, what was you about to say about one thing you won't?
No, I was just saying that this is just something I won't forget ever. Like that conversation was deep and very needed and meaningful, and I'm just happy that everything happened. But I'm even happier that we have a dope show in store for today. You would have thought we were showed out after being in front of hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of live viewers from all across the world yesterday on Tastemates platform. So super duper excited to be back here with our peoples and just get ready for a dope show. You ready for a dope show?
Oh, ready. I live it to
you. Can you let everybody know to get their drinks ready, Ness? Because they don't listen to me when I say it.
Yo, wherever you at, stop what you're doing. Go get your drinks. Triple up on the ice, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Pour that thing straight.
No, triple up on the liquor. Triple up on the liquor. Don't triple up on the ice.
Oh, my full. I forgot who I'm dealing with. I said the wrong thing. I just like my drinks real cold. My bad. Quadruple up on the liquor.
There we go.
Left ice. And get crazy. Got the tea on Dizek. Then spike the tea, baby, please. Spike the tea.
Yo, do us a favor. Stop what you're doing right now and just share this video, man. We have a dope show in store for y'all, and today is gonna be a hot topic show. So we really, Ness and I aren't too hungry today because we've been, our soul's been full, our belly's been full, and all that stuff. So today is going to be a really, I'm not going to say quick show, but a real intentional and specific show. All right. So make sure you go ahead and share that for us so we can share the love and share the wealth and all that good stuff. All right.
Yes, please.
All right, so let's get started. You know, today we getting straight into flash news. So without further ado,
I like that we just jump into flash news. All that food we ate yesterday in front of the world to see.
because we ate a whole mukbang in front of everybody. Like we full. We don't need to in front of hundreds and hundreds of people. Like we don't need to eat.
Yeah, like too full. Can you no more? All right, so flash news.
All right, so flash news. All right, so first of all, shout outs to God.
We didn't cheers to a great episode.
Sorry, I didn't take my sip already too. Let's go. Cheers.
That's crazy. Click, click.
Real quick, I'm just sipping on some very simple mango vodka, lemon juice, and some fruit punch. But it's a Crystal Light pouch because you know I don't like drinking my calories. What you drinking, Ness?
So I had an interesting day today. So I mixed vodka with wine, filled it up to here, and then I splashed some pink lemonade. This is all I'm drinking. I'm sipping slow. And forgot to get the ice. So this is what I got. You feel me?
I ain't mad at it. So let's jump straight in. And let's talk Tory Lanez, man. So y'all already know if you've been watching the show, let me back it up. Shout out to everybody watching. So we stream from 3 different areas. We stream on my personal page, we stream on Gourmet Foreplay's page, and we stream on YouTube, all live. So we can see all the syndicated views. So we appreciate everybody who's joining right now and who's listening in. All right. But if you've been following us, and you know that we've been following the Tory Lanez and Megan Thee Stallion thing from like forever, man, since like episode 1 almost of the season. And so long story short, we already know, if you don't know, that Megan Thee Stallion and Tory Lanez, I think it was back in April or July, excuse me. They were caught in a car pretty much, and it was alleged that Tory Lanez shot Megan. There was this whole thing going back and forth about who's telling the truth, who's lying. Is it Megan telling the truth? Is it Tory telling the truth? Tory released a whole album and a song about it and a track, et cetera, et cetera. Then we had that social media moment where we were like, yo, is like Tory Lanez lying to like preserve his reputation, or is Megan just kind of cloud chasing? I think everybody unanimously agreed that Megan is not cloud chasing. It probably happened. All right. But this shit in, y'all, all right? The little T is charges. All right. According to TMZ and everybody else that reported this damn story, charges have been filed by the Los Angeles County District Attorney, and it included these charges. All right. The assault with a semi-automatic firearm, personal use of a firearm and carrying a loaded unregistered firearm in a vehicle. And in addition, he's facing a gun allegation and a charge that he personally inflicted great bodily injury. All right. So yo, he got charged. What do you think about him getting charged for the crime after we've been talking about whether or not he did it for the whole time?
I mean, I feel like the people want answers. So like if he wasn't charged, it would have been like, okay, so does this go into thin air like it never happened? But I'm sure that, you know, they've been building in order to finally charge them, because if the LA, you know, district attorney is charging them, there might be like a people versus Tory Lanez type of situation. So, I mean, I'm rooting for everybody black, but we got to protect black women. If there was a situation when they was both too drunk to recount the entire night, I guess, I don't know. I feel torn about it, but can't be out here just popping off shots and just walking away from it just because you have money. That's
irresponsible, man. That's irresponsible. That's terrible energy. That's like reckless. That's toxic, and we don't need that. So we're just gonna let the law do what the law does. But we're here. You heard it here. All right. That Tory Lanez has been charged with shooting Megan Thee Stallion. Although reports said that in the report it says like a woman, it doesn't necessarily say Megan Thee Stallion or her real name, but he's been charged. All right. Moving on to the next flash news. Ness, what's going on? I hear there's major things happening with New York City and the DA's over there.
Yes. So like, if y'all know, the district attorney office are the people who pretty much can, oversee how the community runs, oversee like all type of prosecutions. Like any prosecution helped whoever the Senate is because of the district attorney's office, right? And with everything going on, we need a nice diverse spread of all type of ethnic backgrounds in order to simply make this place equal and fair, right? So Tahani Aboshi, she is a Muslim district attorney, and I think it's just pretty dope that she just has a whole different type of she's not your typical DA, so she's a typical person running for DA, but she's a civil rights attorney, and that's what that's really big. Is like she's a civil rights attorney. Once I see civil rights on anything, that means she's for the people. To me, you know what I'm saying?
It makes sense.
Right, if we're fighting for the rights of all the civilians, it's not just one type of civilian, right? But I went on her page to like study her, a little bit more, and she's like, she wants to change the entire community. She wants to invest in communities. She wants to build more schools, not cages. She wants to end mass incarceration, and she wants to build a better community by like fixing the whole entire prison industrial complex that's going on, where prison workers are making these clothes for cheap and selling it to the world, and the manufacturers and the clothing companies are selling it to the world for high demand charges. And even after they get out of prison, the only jobs that really take them are manufacturing jobs, jobs of hard labor. So she wants to fix that complex because people get out of prison, they have the right to be whatever they want to be.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like the U.S. treat people with felonies or people in prison or jail, innocent or guilty, as if they have no choice, no voice, no life worth living once they get out. Now, I don't think that's fair. So I think that's pretty dope. So y'all look into Tahani Aboshi. She's running for the DA in Manhattan. See if she's worth it. You know what I'm saying? Go to New York City, go look into it. Civil rights means good stuff, hopefully this just keeps spreading all throughout the entire, U.S. hopefully, but at least for New York, the whole entire state. So that's all I got on Tahani. Shout out to her.
I'm about to say, I think it's definitely worth checking out. And I think, remember when the Senate, we had, the Assembly, the Democrats took back the House back in like season 2. And we were super duper excited because for the first time ever, there were so many like Islamic women, Muslim women, Black women, like kind of like running for office and elected in all of these counties. So to see stuff like this makes me freaking happy and makes my heart smile.
That's a fact.
But what's crazy? So we were thinking, y'all, today that we were like going to do the same thing we did last time, right? Where we were going to stream the debate live on Tuesday because we want to encourage y'all to watch the debates. And then we will come back here on Wednesday and then shoot the show. But the debates were canceled. All right.
Why, man? Why were they canceled, man?
I mean, I thought you'd never ask, Ness. So the debates were canceled for a couple of reasons. All right. So first of all, we already know that Trump caught the coronavirus, right? Or air quote, caught the coronavirus. And, a lot of people had suspicions that the reason why that happened or he caught it or whatever the case is because he wanted to dodge the debates. Long story short, the Biden administration and so many others was just like, you know what, let's make the debate virtual. That way it's safe for everybody. And then Trump was like, no, I'm not doing a virtual debate. That defeats the purpose of having a debate. I don't want to debate on a computer where there's rules and y'all can cut my mic off. Well, that's what rules are, sir. No. He said these things. So long story short, Trump administration decided that they're not going to be participating in a virtual debate, which is, I think, one of the only times or one of the first times ever in history that a president has not done a debate. And now what's happening instead is that both candidates are doing so pretty much Biden said, you know what, you don't want to do a debate, I'm still going to speak to the people and speak to the base. So Biden said he's going to host a town hall. Now, for those who don't know, a town hall is a kind of open forum where literally the community members are in the audience. It's ran by a moderator, and then that candidate is supposed to speak on this thing. So long story short, Biden is going to be doing one on ABC on Thursday, and apparently Trump is going to be doing one on NBC that has not yet been confirmed. But check out your local listens and look out for it on the headlines, and we should see how this goes. I'm interested in seeing the second debate. Ness, how you feel about watching the second debate after watching the first one?
Watching the second one after watching the first one, I just want answers. You know what I'm saying? I honestly just want answers. When I say answers, like the people need to know these things. Like stuff shouldn't be diverged. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I just want Trump to get a pacifier and a baby bottle, and I just want him to follow the rules and not throw temper tantrums. I want when Joe Biden is speaking, he's listening, because that's the only time we're getting answers, it seems like. Yeah. And I want when he's talking to not like throw shots at people and bring up family history and all that stuff. Like, it's outrageous.
Talk about dead
and
kids.
I think he should be penalized for not doing the debate, because that's a duty to his people. Like, he's just failing us at the duty to his people. Sorry, during campaign time, that to me, that's just nuts. And just to not get his way, that's scary. Agreed. He cancels the debate because people can shut his mic off when it's not his turn to speak, when those are the rules that are agreed to. So, like, he's a sore loser. That's what it is. He's a sore loser with bad sportsmanship. Because if this was basketball, football, soccer, whatever sport it is, and the coach is pulling you out. The coach might walk on the court and pick you up by your jersey and walk you back to the bench and tell you just go to the locker room. And he'll probably smack your mom. Not really smack your mom, but a coach will smack, like,
right.
That's outrageous, and I don't know. I don't like that. I don't like that. That's spoiled.
Well, I think it's more important now to shift to some examples of Black excellence. So what we got?
So, all right. I know we've talked about generational curses in the past. I know we talked about generational wealth in the past, right? And we have this dad. His name is Avery Ashanti Shabazz, and he's gone viral because he has created a way for financial freedom for his family, for chances to have generational wealth, and most importantly, to have something that's long going. Like, he's really starting a whole entire new tradition. So he pretty much gifted his 13-year-old daughter a house. Mm-hmm. Not a playhouse.
Like a house.
Not a Barbie house. A house. I mean, this house may have 2 bathrooms, 3 bedrooms, a full-on kitchen, a porch, a backyard, a front yard. He gifted his child a house. And he said that when he gifts her this house, he's going to teach her how to build more properties like this based off of the revenue that she gets from the house, right? So that means whoever lives in there, right, that money is now going to fund another house. When she's still at the age where she's still carefree. She's still underneath her parents' household. So they're going to still do their duties for her to, provide her with, clothes, food, take away her responsibilities. But they're also going to teach her financial freedom and how to build a legacy, where now this is what happens. Now, when she has a kid on her 13th birthday, she knows now that on their 13th birthday, she has to give them a house. And then so on and so forth, all the way down the chain for every single child in the family that turns 13. And when I think about that, I'm like, wow. And he said pretty much by the time she's 18, by the time she's a legal adult, she will never have to work for anybody. So this property is going to make more money, which is going to get her more property or invest into other things. I'm sure he's going to teach her stocks and bonds and more about the real estate market.
And this is how we set up that generational wealth and that information. This is how we set it up.
And I think that's pretty dope, because you know what? Hispanics got Cinco de Mayo. No, I mean, not Cinco de Mayo. Quinceañera, whatever that is. You know what I'm saying? Jewish kids got the bar mitzvah at 13. Like, other cultures have this rituals that they do at certain ages, and why not?
That is symbolic.
I personally think that's a dope idea, and I hope that just opens the floodgates of, of every other father and every other mother and every other parent and every other person out there. They'd be like, yo, I might do it when my kid 10.
Look, I hear that. I'm not mad at it.
We're gonna play Monopoly every day, every Friday,
and learn how to own, right? Learn how to own property. Learn how to. I hear that
right now.
And you're gonna have a game night ass house too. I already know.
So I'm gonna have a what?
A game night ass house. I already know.
Of course, cups and convers. I'm gonna have a game night every night. You feel me? But most importantly, Monopoly has taught me that having a mortgage is ghetto. Literally, and everyone has a mortgage. My parents have a mortgage. My grandparents have a mortgage. If you own a home, you have a mortgage. Monopoly, if you play the game Monopoly, it teaches you that having to mortgage property is ghetto. So, play Monopoly, people. Let's keep building the generational wealth and learn more. We should do more about learning finances. You know what I'm saying?
You know what else is ghetto though, Ness?
What's ghetto? Don't tell me nothing crazy.
the fact that we are trying to replace, and by we, I mean the Republican Senate is trying to replace the late Ruth Bader Ginsburg with this new nominee. And if y'all don't know her name, know it, because it's important that you do. All right. Her name is Amy Coney Barrett. All right. Now, we talked about her, I want to say, an episode or two ago, because what they're trying to do is the Senate, Republican Senate, is working really hard to get Amy Coney Barrett into the Supreme Court to sit in the long. So Supreme Court, for those who don't know, obviously is the highest court in the land, right? But it's also a lifelong position. You know what I mean? So we have to be hyper intentional about who we put in this lifelong seat, because that means that every major case that gets to the Supreme Court is going to be controlled, and the laws will be controlled by this group of people, which I believe 9 usually sit in a seat. Now, if Amy Coney Barrett sits on the seat, she's a hyper conservative Republican. So Roe v. Wade, which is the law that helps people kind of have pro-choice, you know what I'm saying, and the right to their women's bodies, that will be overturned. Gay rights and marriage will be overturned and things like that. And I thought it was super duper interesting because Kamala Harris had something to say about it. So if you don't know anything about what this means for the democracy of this country, potentially, here is what Kamala Harris had to say about it.
If nothing else, the voters should be very clear about one thing. President Trump and his party and Judge Barrett will overturn the Affordable Care Act, and they won't stop there. They have made clear that they want to overturn Roe versus Wade and restrict reproductive rights and freedoms. Judge Barrett has a long record of opposing abortion and reproductive rights. There is no other issue that so disrespects and dishonors the work of Justice Ginsburg's life than undoing the seminal decision in the court's history that made it clear a woman has a right to make decisions about her own body. But that's where President Trump and his party and Judge Barrett are. So let's make it clear where we are. Let's vote for health care. Vote for the Affordable Care Act. Vote as if your life, your choice depends on it, because it does.
Facts.
Make it clear to President Trump and to every Republican senator that if they're determined to get rid of your health care, you'll be just as determined to vote them out of office.
That bothers me, bro.
Talk to me a little bit about that.
Because they're just trying to destroy the world. And I've never seen so much evil working so hard in my life. You know what I'm saying? Like, we know about, I mean, we hear some stories about the past, you know, we do hear like references to like biblical references. We do hear about stuff going on in other countries, but to know that in my own land, you know what I'm saying, growing up as a kid, you see what's going on, you be like, oh my God, thank the Lord I live in America. And now I'm just like, I don't know about this place. Like, I've never seen so much evil. It is like women are a very special species. You know what I'm saying? Men are a very special species as well. Like, I feel like people sleep on that as well. But women are a very special species because they can do something that men can't do.
Talk about it.
Right? Women have power to bring life. Women have power to, like, manifestations. Women have power to make the world go. They even call nature Mother Nature, bro. You know what I'm saying? Women are the vessel, you know what I'm saying, between human life and the spiritual life. If you really want to think about it, right? If you want to go that deep, you know what I'm saying to you? And it just bothers me that people feel like people are acting on their evil so hard just because they feel like it. It's not like no one's doing anything to them. It's because it's like me waking up tomorrow and say, yo, bro, I just feel like killing every squirrel out there. And you say, why? And I'm just like, I don't know, but it has to be done. Mm-hmm. That is nuts. You know what I'm saying to you? And like, to, you know, not allow women the choice of their own bodies. And when I was reading about this stuff last year, and I taught my students about it, you know, I work with 17, 24-year-olds, so they need to be in the know. So like, I'll go in our leadership circles, we talk about like real current events. And there's a point in time where they really had a debate about, you know, procreation. And then in the lines within the, you know, the new procreation laws and the reverse stuff like that, they're saying that even if a woman is raped, they have to still keep that child. It's life, right? And we know it's population control going on. And we get that. But then if y'all gonna keep killing people to make less people on earth, why not let these women have their own choice say so? Can I afford a child? Am I even gonna be a fit parent for the child? Do I have a conducive household and a family for the child to be raised in? You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of women who actually do abort, probably some of them are selfish. A lot of the reasons are most likely selfless. You know what I'm saying? Of why they do them. But in reality, you shouldn't control what a woman body does when men can literally create 21 babies a day. Women can only create, you know what I'm saying, be pregnant at one time for 9 months. But yet and still, men can literally create 21 babies a day. And it's just like, it's for a bigger agenda that it's unclear to us, but I just feel like that's so nuts. Like, and I know we always say protect Black women and protect them because Black women need to be protected, but all women need to be protected. And when I'm talking about the brown women, I'm talking about the Hispanic women, I'm talking about the woman with bad self-esteem, I'm talking about the woman that's trying to live a day-to-day life. I feel like, I don't know what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's an oppression on women, there's oppression on Black people. And the two of them align together. That means that it's powerful. You know what I'm saying? Only the powerful are oppressed. So that bothers me. Like, that's just dumb. It doesn't make sense to me. That's why it bothers me so much.
And I wanted to give you the floor because you're the woman. And I think you just said it perfectly. So let's go ahead and get to the next news. What's going on with Derek? So, y'all know ex-officer Derek, I think you pronounce it Chauvin. He was, you know, the officer with the knee on George Floyd's neck. And if you know about George Floyd, if you don't know about George Floyd, I don't know who's tuning in. You could be 12. So I'm gonna tell you, George Floyd was a Black man that was murdered during in the height of COVID. And there's a knee on officer's neck. And this is what sparked all the marches. So if you're like 10 or 12, looking at this, I don't know what I'm talking about. Like all those Black Lives Matter marches and all that, everything that you see, the movement going on, and everybody saying we gotta vote. This is outrageous. It was sparked from George Floyd, and the officer who put the knee on the neck actually is out of prison, and he's out. He made his bail $1 million, bro. And someone paid it.
I don't think that man was making more than $60K a year, to be honest with you.
How somebody made
so basically, wow. There were a lot of social groups, right? Mm-hmm. You know what type of social groups I'm talking about, but they held private Facebook group fundraisers and donations.
Are we talking about white nationalists and white supremacist groups?
All of them.
Okay.
See, I'm trying to be better. I'd rather you say, because I'm trying to be better, because I'm not trying to get kidnapped.
All I'm saying, you're not gonna get kidnapped as long as you tell the facts that are already out. And if it's white supremacy,
so all the KKK pretty much locked arms and raised $1 million to let out a murderer, a demon child, right? And the shakiest part about it is that although he was let out, he now victimized himself to the courts and said that he has concerns for his safety. Why? Because, motherfucker, everybody wants your head top. You walk outside the grocery store, it's your head top, bro. You know what I'm saying to you? And he, made, concerns for his safety. And he's actually being granted permission to leave the state of Minnesota and go into hiding somewhere else where he thinks someone's going to notice him. The part that pisses me off about this is if you think back to all them little kids that were like 16 that possibly had a gun on them, that possibly had a knife on them, that possibly was accused of, doing something illegal and were labeled nuisance to societies and a threat to society, and they had to stay in prison or sentenced to prison and been stuck in there forever. Here goes this man. You know what I'm saying?
This is me refilling my drink, by the way, as I'm stressed out and trying to bite my tongue for my feelings. So while I let you
know what I'm saying to you? And here goes this man. You know what I'm saying? And once again, America has proven that the system was not designed for us, one. And two, the system is irrational and unjust.
And this is why voting is important.
Voting is important. This man killed somebody with no emotion. That has got to be the most sickening, scariest thing ever. If he wasn't sentenced to prison, he should be sentenced to a psych ward for the rest of his life in a straitjacket. One or the other. I don't get how someone can murder somebody with no emotion.
And remember when you saw that, me and you, we were really like mad. We were mad emotional. And all you kept saying to me is like, yo, look at his face. Look at his face. Like, he has no remorse. He has no care in the world. He's unbothered. Like, and you just kept saying he's evil. He's evil. Yeah.
Evil. One of the most evilest men in this country is out on $1 million bail because all the fucking evils united to let him out.
And if we were in Jamaica, they would say, on her tour wicked, right?
On a tour wicked.
Wicked.
On a tour. Listen, so I just want to let y'all know that this is what we're faced against as far as the criminal justice system. When we vote and we pick district attorneys and we make that lower level change with assemblywomen and attorneys, that is the impact. These are the people in charge of indicting and setting the charges. If there was a district attorney assigned to that case with the morale, with the heart, and more diverse, I guarantee you there would have been no bail to his thing. Think about how many kids, all these 21-year-olds, all these 24-year-olds that go to and they say, oh, no bail post. Like, it's not even an option for most people to get bail. Here goes this man who disrespected the oath of his academy. You know what I'm saying? Disrespected the oath of being a police officer to serve the people. He went lawless, murdered somebody with zero fucks given, not a care in the damn world. I'm sure he didn't even shed a damn tear. And the judge can look at them and say, you must have a good heart. What? And the judge have a power to say, I don't care what the lawyers say right about now. I don't care what the jury say right about now. Actually, we're going to do what I say. You know what I'm saying? So if we vote on our judges and we vote on our district attorneys, we can shake shit up. Presidency, cool. It's vote or die situation right now. But this shit don't end here, bro. This shit don't end here, bro.
And that's why, even what we're about to talk about next is super duper important, because it's not just, right, we're about to talk about what it means to be a woman of color or a colored woman, depending on who you are and what people call it. Well, I'm not a woman, but people call women of color these days. But because we got to just talk about what that looks like, right? What does it mean to be a black person in America? What does it mean to be a black man in America? I can talk about that all day. I was stopped and frisked at age 11 and fit the description at the age of 11 because 11, I was waiting on a bus, bro, to go to school, and I got pulled over by police, and they said I fit the description, put me against the wall. I'm like, yo, can I just go to school and get my goddamn education? Like, what the hell? So it's been crazy. But like, one thing that we want to talk about is pretty much that, I don't know if y'all heard, but Megan Thee Stallion, I know we talked about her earlier, but we got to talk about her in a different light. Last week we showed her performance, at the burp, and it's not coming out. Are you coming? It's not coming. We showed her performance, and here it goes. There we go. Excuse me. So we show her performance pretty much, and she had that crazy performance on SNL where she literally had this whole segment about Black lives and Black women. And I just kind of want to show you guys what she did. She did a whole thing with the New York Times where she kind of had this whole thing produced that pretty much was similar to that. So let's go ahead and take a look.
What does it mean to be a woman of color? She's got to be strong because that's just the expectation. Loving herself, but not too much because then she's conceited. Being his lady in the streets, but his freak in the sheets. Inheriting her grandma's love, but always loving the wrong one. Twerking for her man, but not with her friends. Being constantly told she's too much or not enough.
The most disrespected person is the black woman.
Constantly having to prove she's a victim because society sides with a man. Not being able to express her traumas because she can't show no weakness. It's constantly told that she's too dark, too thin, too thick, too much of a bitch. Being murdered, beaten, abused, then questioned if she above all of it. Left out on the street, but becomes the flower that grows from the concrete.
Who told you to hate yourself from the top of your head to the soles of your feet?
She marches for everyone else, riots for everyone else, dies for everyone else. She loves everyone else, lives for everyone else. But when it comes down to her, it ain't a in sight. The system as a whole has failed her. You never get shot, you don't know before they her name. 18.
I love it.
So let's talk about it. All right. So before I feel great, but I'm about to say before we talk about the video, I want to go ahead and make this a social media moment for everybody. All right. So let's go ahead and get ready for our first social media moment of the night. All right, so social media moment is we're gonna ask the same question that Megan asked. Period. All right. Social media moment is, what does it mean to be a woman of color in America? All right, and I need y'all to go ham on this question because it's super duper important. All right. I can talk about what it means to be of color or a man of color, but I need y'all to tell me what it means to be a woman of color. If you're a woman, I need you to really, really, really go ham on this question. If you're a man, I need you to really, really go ham on this question because we got to talk about this, what it means to be a woman of color in America. And in the meantime, and in between time, Ness, what you got for us to play while everybody gets their thoughts ready?
I got some music to play. I got a video for y'all. But in another note, I also want to add that even if you're not of color, what do you think it means to be a woman of color? You know what I'm saying? I know you have been hearing about it. I know you've been watching about it. But what do you feel? What do you think? But I got a dope video right here. Let me share my screen. We got Mike Mitch, my guy, dope artist. A nice woke song. You feel me? Dark as day.
You guys got 40 seconds. Let's go. Now turn up your volume.
You should turn it up.
Instrumentals I still provide the brutal skill, but it's sentimental how I describe me. Offend you, I'm treading late out in darkness. I feel revived, but through my lowest, you take the time to still remind.
You guys have 25 seconds left.
Yeah, the black winners, I'm raising my fist, it gives me pride. These white summer supremacists give me Trumpish vibes. I'm electing my efforts, make me a candidate. The sweet, still presidential, pretty sure you can't relate. I tend to hesitate, logic triumph in everything. Heating up, now I meditate. Change the pace when I place belief and I'm saying grace.
20 seconds left, y'all.
Paper chase, door to door like the paper boy, and I'm in my bag. Do golden verses, I'm monetizing, we pricing tags. Yeah.
You've been the best of times, you walk me through my darkest days.
Mike Mitch.
You've been the best of times, you walk me through my darkest
This is fire, bro.
Love it. 10 seconds, y'all. Y'all got 10 seconds left. This is Defender. Defender is dope. 5 seconds left, y'all. 4, 3, 2, 1.
made me stronger.
All right.
One time to shine a bad karma, surrounded by my failures, but say.
Close.
Not bad,
All right.
dog. Not bad.
All right. So, before we're gonna let your comments continue to come in, but as we let that happen, Ness, you asked me how I feel about it or what I think.
I want to hear from you because you've been asking me a lot of questions lately.
What does it mean to be a woman of color? That is an excellent question. I think to be a woman of color right now in America means, let's back it up. I'm going to speak about how I think women of color are received in America. That's the best way for me to answer the question. The way I think women of color are received in America is I think they're looked at as too anything. Too tough, too bossy, too angry, too upset, too controlling, too sexual, too intelligent, too hardworking, too much of everything. That's the best way I can describe the way they're perceived, right? You know, we have like people like, and this is debatable, but we have people who are in the entertainment industry, like Monique, for example, right? Monique is somebody who, you guys know Monique from the Parkers. Monique is somebody who has been criticized time and time again for being labeled and blackballed and blacklisted as being difficult to work with. Why is Monique considered being difficult to work with? Monique's considered being difficult to work with because she's not going to allow people on set to disrespect her staff. She's not going to allow different people who are part of the industry to take advantage of her. She's not going to allow her to be paid less than what she's worth. But that is considered difficult because a woman is speaking out. When we talk about people like Keke Palmer, who had an incident with, was it Trey Songz?
Yeah.
Had an incident with Trey Songz where she was pretty much almost taken advantage of and trapped in the house and under the influence and almost sexually assaulted. Fact check that, but I believe that was the story. Almost sexually assaulted. And if Keke Palmer pressured, thank you. Sexually pressured. Yes, thank you. Thank you for that. Being sexually pressured, you know what I'm saying? To do things that were against her will while she was under the influence. But if she was to speak, she's too much of a snitch. If she was to speak, she's too much of an attention whore, right? That's what the world would call her, or the world did call her. You know, it's all about being too much something. When we have somebody as strong as Kamala Harris, who doesn't have the most perfect track record by any means, but who is amazing and a strong woman, we can start from just her race. She's too Indian to be black. She's too black to be in office. She's too strong. People read Twitter comments. She's too strong to be, this. You know what I mean? So it's just like we have so many different examples of what a black woman is pressured to be and how society typically looks at a black woman. And like Beyonce says, actually, let's go to Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj says, if a woman knows what she wants, I'm paraphrasing, she's a bitch. But if a man knows what he wants, he's a boss. Let that marinate for a second. That's deep. You know what I mean? So it is so difficult for, let alone to be of color in general, but then to be a woman of color. You know, women weren't allowed to vote until a certain amount of time. They weren't allowed equal pay. That's why we talk about Ruth Bader Ginsburg while she wasn't of color. She was the first woman to be appointed to the Supreme Court and to even get a job like that. You know what I mean? Right. So I feel like we got to be really intentional about understanding what the value is of women and how America values the woman. All right. Now, we have some dope behind comments coming in, and they are paragraphs and paragraphs long, and I imagine more are coming. So, Ness, I'm going to ask you before we read the comments, what are your thoughts, and how do you feel about this topic?
I believe is a lot, right? Because I'm a black woman with a double oppression, right? I'm a black woman, and I'm also LGBTQ, right? That's well, the elbow, but I gotta say the whole thing, right?
You're part of the alphabet soup, as I call it.
Right. So I feel like black women are received in society as ratchet. I feel like they are. So there's two like a double sword head, right? I feel like black women are received as ratchet. They are received as like they can't have pain. they are perceived as, you know, dumb. They're received over sexualized. They are received as just a woman that can be taken advantage of, especially in America, right? I feel like they are viewed through society as powerless sometimes. And I think sometimes they are viewed like as weak, because I feel like people go out of their way to make sure Black women are not heard, and that's because it's just some type of complex going on, right? However, I feel like Black women are viewed as too strong. I feel like Black women are viewed as too powerful. I feel like Black women are viewed as too beautiful. I feel like Black women are viewed as too innovative. I feel like Black women are viewed as, you know, too outspoken. I feel like Black women are viewed as, you know, a bitch. You know what I'm saying? And when I say bitch, I'm thinking about Nicki Minaj. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, me and you go head to head about Nicki Minaj all the time. But on certain cases, you know what I'm saying, Nicki Minaj got to be considered a bitch to make boss moves. You know what I'm saying to you? So I feel like Black women are perceived as the angry Black woman, I should say. You know what I'm saying? I feel like Black women are perceived as that. Even when they're not even being angry or defensive, they are perceived as that because they innate something that is called passion. They're innate something that's called empathy. They're innate something that's called compassion. You know what I'm saying? Like, Black women are blessed with all these emotions that they can feel, and it's a blessing to be able to feel. And I feel like Black women feel a lot. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that's how I feel like Black women are perceived. But what I think about Black women, what does it mean to be a woman of color in America? It just pretty much means to be like the lowest of the totem, like the totem pole. I feel like from the beginning of time, all right, from the beginning of time, Black women were queens. You know what I'm saying? They were worshipped. Even in the chess game, you have to protect your queen. You know what I'm saying? I feel like Black women were worshipped in the right way. I feel like the land was moving at a good pace. I feel like, you know, people know when a Black woman talks, you shut the fuck up and you listen. You know what I'm saying? But it got distorted, you know, once, you know, we were on the waters, crossing the ocean. And when that happened, it's just like the agenda was, can't let if you let the Black woman rise, everything will be good. Good for them, but not for us. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like in America, the Black woman is the bottom of the totem pole because it's the same woman that was, you know, beat, raped, enslaved, all this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like in America, the Black woman is at the bottom of the totem pole, but Black women are strong and they know what they possess and we use our visions, you know what I'm saying? And
what they're capable of.
You know,
yeah. So if you want, how about you take the first comment and then we'll bounce back and forth.
Perfect. Ooh, y'all talking. This is what I'm talking about.
That's yours. I got you.
It's what I'm talking about. All right. So Tati says, a Black woman in America is a little poetic, but it means to be unwatched pot of back burner, constantly getting scolded for. Oh my God, this is deep.
This is
I
deep.
thought the Black one was a little bit poetic. All right, let me run it back, right? So Tati's saying that this what she's about to say is about to be a little poetic, right? But a Black woman in America is an unwatched pot on the back burner, constantly getting scolded for boiling water. And if you cook,
and then boiling over at that,
Tati,
the water have overfilleth. Yo,
if you know about the back burner, you know what I'm saying? The back burner sometimes get forgotten about because you worry about the front burners, right? When that water over boils and it sizzles on that pot and it sizzles on that electric stove, or it puts the fire out on the gas stove and sparks up again on a regular stove, that is
we got to snap for that. And yes, I snap weird, y'all. Please don't judge me. I taught myself how to snap in first grade. I ain't asked you, Ness. Thank you. All right, next comment. Mo Def says, it means to carry the pressures of the world mentally and physically while trying to maintain your sanity and keep the peace. It means being a trendsetter and a light in the world without receiving any credit. Being a black woman is the coolest and scariest shit ever. I hear that. I feel that. I see you and I hear you. And I think those sentiments are probably echoed by a lot of women who are here now. And excuse me. And you know, I feel like I don't know. I feel like that's the same sentiments that can be echoed. You know what I mean? From everybody watching right now and everybody doing their thing. And I just feel like it's important to really take in consideration how mentally challenging it is to really maintain your sanity going through your day-to-day operations as a woman of color, as a black woman, as a brown woman, or etc. So I agree with that, man. And I, you know, like I said, I'm not a woman. You know, so it's very difficult for me to, I can't say I've been in your shoes, but I can say that I have strong black women in my life. I'm surrounded. One of my best friends and closest people in my life right here is a black woman, and a strong one at that. And if you only knew what she was dealing with today and being able to still be on here for y'all, you'd understand just how motherfucking strong she is. All right. So I understand what you mean. And I'm sorry that is the reality. But this is why these conversations are important. Go ahead and read Sean's.
Appreciate your words, player. So Sean J. Lacopelli.
Okay, with the accent, Lacopelli.
Lacopelli, you feel me? So black women in America is over-sexualized, underrepresented, and mothered and master, decisions will be judged harshly, especially by the disconnected, privileged person. On top of all typical issues we face with police, etc., and underpayment in workforces and lack of upward mobility. Listen, Sean, I'm gonna give you some snaps, Sean, because black women are completely underpaid. Like I said, remember, I said we're in the bottom of the totem pole. Mm-hmm. So our social class is here. Is levels to this, right? And it goes by gender and it goes by race for each single level. And the black woman is here. And y'all can't see me, but I'm at the bottom of the screen when I say here, right? And completely underpaid. So I remember senior year of college of my undergrad, I decided like I didn't want to do like criminal law anymore. I'm just like, I'm not into this. Sports law is so much better. Let me just do a double, major. Let me do sports law and let me do criminal justice to keep everything together. Mm-hmm. And I had a class that was about, I don't remember what the class was called, but it was more so we had to basically present a case. You know what I'm saying? And we had to
wait. What? Oh, this was in college. Never mind. Because I'm about to say this sounds like high school when we took forensics. Anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
Got you. Uh-huh. But I went to Jermaine, kind of, he be fronting on it. But I went to St. John's University. This is the university that breeds all judges of New York State. So it breeds all judges in New York State.
You don't take that private
and it
Catholic
breeds most of the lawyers
with it. Shout out to you, Albany, man. All right, we good. Go ahead. Tell you a little.
Anyway, I remember doing a paper. I don't know what class it was. I don't know why I wrote it, but I just remember I wrote over the pages. And basically, at the time, doing that paper, I learned that an NBA player on the bench has a starting rate of $2 million.
Must be nice.
So Chris Humphries, if you remember Chris Humphries, this is what I always remembered about it. That means Chris Humphries, who is Kim Kardashian's ex-husband, was getting $2 million to sit on the bench all season. However, a second leading scorer player, well, everyone starts for the WNBA at $55K. Like they making 9 to 5 money in the WNBA, and it advanced to a couple more hundreds of thousands only if the woman was endorsed by big brands. So if she was endorsed by Nike or Under Armour or Adidas or Gatorade or Sprite or whatever else it is related to basketball, is the only way she would even see hundreds of thousands of dollars. And to me, that was nuts. And that was before I was into the whole acting realm. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, a woman in an acting role may only get 75K, may only get 100K. And she could be, you know, the star of the movie. Meanwhile, the lead male would get like 500K to him. It's nuts with these budgets, and I appreciate you, Sean, for that, because that's nuts. And we hear about it, but you got to look at the numbers, people. You have to look at the numbers.
So Amelia Parveen says, when you've got to work hard to earn everything, you'll definitely be seen as too much. The folks who have things easy can afford to be chill and laid back and don't have to worry about proving themselves. I hear that and I understand, you know, that really just speaks to a little bit of privilege, honestly. And there's male privilege, there's white privilege, there's so much privilege that goes around that unfortunately doesn't get into the hands or the lives of Black and brown people. And that just is what it is. And we have to really realize how real that is, you know, in the workplace, how real it is, you know. Think about men and women in science, for example. And Amelia, you can speak to this. You know what I'm saying? Think about men and women in science and STEM, you know. It's a lot easier for men in STEM. It's a lot easier for people of privilege in STEM or people who aren't of color in STEM versus women. You know what I'm saying? Women, shout out to the 17 people viewing, by the way. But, you know, it's easier for men. You know what I'm saying? And I understand that. And I just feel like it's such a disparity in, you know, women making 33% less than men is ridiculous in most cases. Ridiculous. And I feel that and I hear that. Let's move on to Leticia's because I feel like she has a lot to say. Ness, this is on you.
Yeah, got you. So Leticia has a big comment. And I love it because, you know, we did like the double-edged sword and this is what she brought to the table, right?
Yep.
Leticia says, being a woman of color means showing who I am as an individual always. We aren't all the same, but we have shared similar experiences. And with that, it brings a sense of unity, pride, and strength. And then on the other hand, it brings out individuality, separation, and pressure. Snap that. We tend to be grouped as one, and it seems more so consists of all negatives. Everything good for men is bad for women. I challenge that view often, but it does bother me. So much more to write, but here's ... I'll see and try to see if you kept going. Got you. I appreciate you.
I like too.
And I love the fact that you took your double-edged sword because women are great. Now, this one part about this, what she says with separation. Separation is a big thing because the woman with all the power somehow always seems to go against each other. Some for the majority of it. I feel like 80% of women with power go head to head like it's a competition, and that's not something that's cool. You know what I'm saying? But but then in the olden days, you know, we're saying everybody's like, I'm queen, no, I'm queen, no, I'm queen. You know what I'm saying? I just want to see all the queens go, hey girl, hey.
And I understand that too. Like, you know, obviously, like you said, right? So obviously, not every woman of color goes through the same experience. You know, although they have shared similar experience, they're not always the same. But regardless, even just experience a little bit of that does add to that sense of unity and strength. And I think women, I think us as people of color in general need to do a better job at upholding each other, uplifting each other, supporting each other, promoting each other. Like Nessa always says, and I have since then adopted, you know, as kings, we have to be better at fixing each other's crowns from men to men or man to man. And as women and queens, you have to be better at fixing each other's crowns, lifting each other up. And honestly, not to go back to this, because we'll talk about this later, but when it came to yesterday in Taste Made, you know, I had an opportunity to put 5 creators out to a freaking amazing ass audience. And I have friends of mine who are now having 60,000 views on their videos and 80,000 views and 100 and something thousand views on their videos. And that's what we mean when we say fix each other's crowns. Men, kings and queens need to do better at fixing each other's crowns. We cannot ever, ever, ever achieve generational wealth. We cannot ever, ever, ever achieve this sense of unity and pride that Leticia is talking about if we don't fix each other's crowns, and we need to do a better job at that.
I think one thing, Leticia had an extra piece, but like y'all comments was coming in and I couldn't see it. So Leticia said, but yet we are perceived as every definition of bitch. I'll let that sit. In all reality, bosses are women making boss moves are perceived as bitches, and we have to change that narrative.
George Watkins, the man of the hour. All right. George Watkins says women of color have a lot more obstacles to overcome. And when they exhibit strength, they are perceived in these negative ways. And I agree with that. I think there's a lot of time. So again, back to our two theory. Women are to this. Women are to that. Black women, in particular are to this. Black women in particular are to that. And, it reminds me, I'm not going to name any names, but at a past job I had, there was a woman of color there who had a very strong personality. Some might say it was a little inappropriate for the workplace, but she was on her shit. She did her job and she commanded attention when she went into a room. She could work any room. And she had so many obstacles to overcome because she wore her hair a certain way. You know what I'm saying? Her weave was a certain way. Her braids were a certain way. Her eyelashes were a certain way. So she had to literally kind of overcome just the physicalities of who she was, to even be able to fully operate in a room at her full capacity, and who wants to enter a meeting and automatically be judged by your appearance before you even open your mouth? And we know that happens normally anyway, but just as a Black woman or a woman of color, I only imagine that it happens even more often. Amelia Parveen said, big up yourself, Ness. Mm-hmm. Sean corrected us.
Ayakopelli. I got you, player. Ayakopelli.
Jess is a boss. Plus her name is on fleek. DJ Hollywood, aka
Mario. You missed the compliment.
What compliment?
He said, even though he said Jess is a boss, her hair is on fleek, he meant to say Ness is a boss, her hair is on fleek. Thank you, player. I appreciate you.
You missed the compliment. Calm down. Somebody tell me my hair is on fleek, please, so I can say we missed the comment.
Your beard's fire. I see your curls. I'll tell you, your beard's going on waves.
You funny today. You funny.
Agent Davey. Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
It's all right. We just saying what's up. Just tuning in. Catch me up. Mario V. Johnson, you're just going to have to scroll up, my brother, or rewind. But I recommend you staying in tune right now and then just rewinding. But we're talking about what it means to be a Black woman in America.
Okay. No, go ahead.
All right. He says people of color get too much sauce and juice that it makes others feel some type of way. They be
They'll be Got you.
They'll be I agree. And it's funny, when I came through, I can't. I'm gonna go through for my compliment just came up, everybody, by the way, but we're gonna hold on. Let me get to this real quick. All right. So I agree with that. I think, sometimes, and I think, people of color getting too much sauce and juice. I think that forces us to sometimes code switch, which for those who don't know, code switching is when we can change the way we speak, we can change our dialect, we can change the way we interact with people to amount to the thing that is the most popular. And by the most popular, I mean the language of the majority, which is typically people of privilege or white people, pretty much. Gotcha. So it forces us to code switch. And I think sometimes, when we have too much sauce or we have too much juice, it kind of throws people off a bit. People don't know if they want to be down sometimes or if they want to frown upon it and say it's unprofessional. But I think sometimes that is that. But what I want to say is, Mo Def says, come through, knee beard, clap, 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 go off, hat. These for you, man. And that's why we appreciate you, Mo Def.
Shout out to the support. I appreciate that. For you too, man. I appreciate that. But I just want to not overlook. Asia Davies says that they don't like a strong Black woman. Like I said, they're at the bottom of the totem pole. So everything that we said tonight about the Black woman, make sure you turn that into some content and to be like, oh wow, if you didn't know that Black women look like that, like damn, we gotta big up a Black woman when you see them. You feel me? Maine taught me that if you see something you like, if you want to compliment somebody, say something.
Please say it. Don't think about it.
Especially in the times that we're in, Maine just like, I like your shoes, I like your toenails, I like your earring, I like your shirt.
Yo, literally.
And he told me one day, he was like, because I just, I be doing my things. I do compliment, but I don't compliment every single second. You know what I'm saying? And Maine's just like, hell no. Compliment everybody you see when they walking. Don't just look at what you want to be looking at. Just whatever you like, compliment and say, if you like her glasses, say you like her glasses. If you like her smile, say that. I'm like, okay.
My thing is like, you never know, private chat. My thing is that you never know what people are thinking, for example, right? You never know what people are going through. You never know what people are, you just never know. And sometimes people need that compliment. They need that uplift. So my thing I always tell Ness and people in general, like, yo, instead of thinking that or us talking about it, why don't you just tell that person that? You know what I mean? Why don't you just uplift them? You never know how a compliment will really change someone's day and make them feel great about themselves. Like, you literally never know. So that's all I kind of want to say on that. All
right, so
right. Moving on. Shout out to everybody who commented, by the way. We appreciate y'all.
We love when y'all comment. Oh, it gives us something to talk about. So comment all the time whenever you feel like it, right? So if y'all don't know, Rolando Martin is a huge public figure. Like, he's around sports, he's around politics. I don't know what in the world he does, but he's a public figure with the high, following. And today I'm scrolling through Instagram and I realized he's crying. And I'm like, this grown man crying. I mean, men should be able to cry, because men cry, right? Men should be able to cry, you know what I'm saying? But, like, what is he really trying to say here? So I seen him, I couldn't pay attention because I was at work. Later on, I check it out. I'm just like, yo, he's crying because he sees so many people that are out there early voting. He's crying because he sees lines going and going and going all throughout campuses, all down blocks, all through parking lots, and people are just patiently standing there for hours, and they are disregarding the voting oppression or suppression, right? They are disregarding the fact that their feet hurt. I didn't see anybody sitting down on no portable chairs. People were just up and out there for early voting, and I'm just like, wow. And I understand why he's crying, because one, he's listening to John Legend's Glory, and he's also listening to Trey Songz's new songs, about like how many times, like whatever he's saying, right? I'm trying to sing, I ain't got the vocals, but he's crying, and I'm just like, yo, my eyes, I caught myself because my eyes started watering. And that's a beautiful sight, because I didn't learn about early voting, as bad as it may sound, until last year. I learned about it last year, because
but that's not too bad. Don't feel bad about that. A lot of people didn't know about early voting until about last year, so don't feel bad about that.
But I'm like, damn, I'm 29. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't learn that we can get paid from our jobs to go vote. We don't learn that we can really early vote. And the only reason why I learned about it is because last year we had a snowstorm up here that shut things down. And I live in a Republican area of New York State. And it was something that was really pushed on the news. Like, to go early vote, go for other stuff. I'm just like, what? Why the hell do we know about this in the hood? Like, what the hell's going on? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But all we know about is election day. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a federal holiday, like everybody go vote, boom, 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 boom. But no, like, we seen black, we seen brown, we seen white, we seen Chinese, we seen Hispanic out there ready to vote nice and early. And no one cares about what the hell is going to happen to them. No one cares about leaked media of there being like Trump armies outside waiting for you at the polls. No one cares that we have to social distance by 6 feet. No one cares that only 6 people may be allowed and at a time to vote. No one cares what the hell it is. Everybody just like, but I'm going to vote though. I'll make sure my voice is heard though. And I thought that was a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful piece, because, it made me, my eyes a little watery, you know what I'm saying? To see all the unity. So that's pretty dope. But then we're going to move on to some, what's up?
I just want to say, I was hyped to hear this one, right? Because Shaq and American Express, now we know Shaq has been trying to get every job that he could, honestly, since the NBA. And he's been in the general commercial.
He's a sports commentator. He's funny as shit.
But not on the general commercials with the little animated general. Go to the general and save some time. Like, come on. Like, what? Anyway.
But he been I forgot. You don't watch sports, bro. He has a whole show.
You don't know what I watch.
You watch his show?
Who?
Shaq's.
Yeah. Not the bust out laughter. That's crazy. What's good, Paul? That's crazy. Yeah. What's it called? Yeah. Yo.
I feel like Shaq still got it. Shaq's still in the showbiz. He's funny. He has a whole sports commentating show. Like every NBA game that plays, he's on air.
Was he talking about his partnership with Amex on that show?
Nah, but we're gonna talk about it on here.
All right, let's go. Let's get into it.
Right. So Amex is American Express. That's Amex is just short for American Express, right? So Shaq has literally partnered with American Express to literally launch a $10 million grant. You know what I'm saying? And he's raising funds for Black-owned businesses. And I've been trying to like go in. I don't see a link for it yet, but when I find a link, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna send that out to some people because everybody still needs this loan because COVID ain't working with small Black businesses for some reason. But he linked with American Express. They got this grant going out for $10 million for Black-owned businesses to like spread some more wealth in places that were denied. You know what I'm saying? So when you see people like this, like big Shaq make other funds and grants for small Black businesses, that just means that whole big shebang that the U.S. government was supposed to be giving out didn't go out to enough of us, right?
Yeah.
So we had, and most of the portion of the grant and the proceeds are going to go to mentoring and leadership program. So imagine a Black small business being hurt by COVID, getting a grant by COVID, and be mentored by a bigger Black business during this time, and having leadership programs with them to build a better business. You know what I'm saying? So I think that is pretty dope. And I feel like, how I said earlier about all of the evils coming together to create more evil?
Yep.
You want to see all the good people come together and keep on making, do good. And stuff like this is really needed, especially for people who can afford it. But with that Black excellence, I told you a lot of Black excellence today.
Get some more Black excellence. Killer Mike, bro. Can you tell everybody who Killer Mike is?
Forget about Killer Mike. So back in the day,
he be in the background, guy.
Right. So Killer Mike, back in the day, he was a rapper, right? He's a rapper, he's an actor, and he's an activist. And he's been big on his activism, you know what I'm saying? Especially out in Atlanta, Georgia. Like, he's outspoken. Like, we know about T.I., but people don't really know about Killer Mike. And Killer Mike be putting in a lot of work, and he just goes overseen. And Killer Mike literally launched a Black-owned digital bank. You know what I'm saying? And if you know anything about banks, I'm going to tell you what banks do, right? When you put your money in a bank, right? They take your money.
No money in the bank.
Hey.
All right, sorry.
Hey, you funny. So yeah, he launched his digital bank, Black-owned bank. He's been talking about this Black-owned bank for some years now, and he finally launched it, and he named it Greenwood after Tulsa. If you know about Black Wall Street that we talked about last season, Black Wall Street, popping millionaires, popping Black millionaires, first generation
doctors, pharmacies, libraries, beauty supply stores, beauty salons, restaurants, booming, Black businesses everywhere, like everywhere. Go ahead, Ness.
Right? Booming. And pretty much,
how's business?
Booming. Yo, remember 2016?
Yo, 2016, Cali, bro. In Cali. That's throwback. Wow, we were 26. Look at God. All right, go ahead. Back to the topic, man.
Right? So, like I'm saying, we talking about this booming, vibrant community, first generation out of slavery. It's how strong we are. You know what I'm saying? Right after we were using the press, we became millionaires. And think about it this way. Back in the day, $1 was $100.
Uh-huh.
And they were millionaires.
Mm-hmm.
I put that in perspective. They were millionaires. But anyway, so if you know anything about a bank, right? When banks get your money, it ain't really there when you go look at your checking balance. It ain't really there when you see your available balance versus your pending. It ain't really there. Why? The bank has taken your money and they've invested it to get more money, or they're exchanging your money across the foreign exchange market to other countries as the prices and fluctuates and goes ups and down, and they're getting more money. So if you put $1,000 in the bank, the money not there when you think it's there. It's out there, and for your $1,000, the bank then probably got $7,000 back from it. You know what I'm saying? And they keep making more money off of your money, right? And this is why big banks make so much money and they outdo little banks. And little banks got to merge together to make more. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how it goes. Think about this way. You go into a bank right now and you got $30K in your account. You ain't pulling out $30K.
Mm-hmm.
You got to sit there. You got to get interrogated. You got to ask why you want it, why you need it, what you're going to do with it. And it's to be like, bitch, it's my money, right? Because it ain't there. They got to figure out how to pull it. So they're going to pull it from Sammy's account because Sammy got $5,000. They're going to pull it from Alicia's account because she got $15,000. And they're going to do all of that to finesse it.
Where's Sandy and Alicia at? How I get in contact with them?
Making their names up, right? But that's pretty much what a bank does. And to know that, you know, Killer Mike has started a bank that's digital, which needs to be digital because everything is, you don't got to pay for overhead of the banking company. You have to take out that insurance for if they get robbed. You don't got to pay for the ATMs. You don't got to, none of that is digital. Why? We've been going pretty much cashless this whole entire time. I know you got Cash App, I know you got Zelle, I know you got Venmo, I know you got PayPal, right? It's another source of income just like that. And that's pretty dope, pretty amazing because now all the money that's going in, and he has gotten within 24 hours, tens of hundreds of thousands of people opening up accounts. And guess what that's going to do? So that first 24 hours, he probably made, you know, is the black people jumping in the bank, if no celebrities jumping in 24 hours, he probably had about,
come on, mathematician,
350K, you know what I'm saying, at his hands. He can literally take his 350K and spread that money out to make more money. And this, even if you open up a bank only $500,000 or $0, that bank will now gross into million dollar banks, and this will work his way up to be a big bank. If you know Killer Mike, he don't play. He's done plenty of research, and this is about to change the entire game. So shout out to Killer Mike. Shout out to Greenwood Banking. Look that up. Join it. Get to it because we need more banks.
We just want to say real quick that, first of all, shout out to everybody tuning in with us. And again, I know that like if you're on YouTube, you only see the people viewing on YouTube. If you're on Facebook, on my personal page, you only see the people viewing on my page. If you're on Gourmet Foreplay's page, you only see the people viewing on y'all page. But I just want to say shout out to everybody because we can see all of the congregated views here, the likes, the loves, and all of that. So thank you guys so much for viewing. Don't forget to always share this video, continue to comment, continue to like, etc. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. But we told you at the beginning of this episode, I guess, that it's really just going to be a flash news hot topics episode, all right? Because we done been full off of those crab legs and those Dungeness crab legs and king crab legs and snow crab legs and shrimp and prawns and crawfish from last night's Taste Made episode. So right now we just want to kind of transition and pivot a little bit into into a conversation about voting, man. Listen. It is super duper important that y'all vote, man. This has to be probably the most important election that has ever happened in probably the history of the United States of America. We thought that that's what happened in 2016 with Hillary and Trump, but now with Joe Biden, after now, you know, for all the people who are a little confused, like a little lost, a little like, he's a businessman, a little whatever. Now we've had 4 years already. It has been 4 years. I will never forget the fact that the day of November, whatever it was, my eyes are watering now. Oh my God. 2016, when I told myself, I was like, nah, we already know Hillary got the popular vote. Hillary's not going to lose. I stayed up watching them count the votes, watching them say who state got what, the electoral college, blah, 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 blah. It was like 2 a.m. and I fell asleep. Woke up at like 3 or 4 a.m. and just news everywhere that Trump won. And I literally cried. I cried. Not like boo-hoo, oh my God, but like tears are falling out my eyes. I'm just like, yo, what is America going to be? What is this? What is my life going to be? Damn, do I want to have kids in this world? Like, what is this going to be? If we're saying that Mexicans are rapists and black people, what do you have to lose? And you African Americans, you live in your poverty.
Remember that.
Grab him by the pussy. You know, we're dealing with a president who says that if pretty much, not verbatim, but pretty much, if you weren't my daughter, the things I would do to you, to your daughter, like a misogynist, like it's just so much. So I literally cried. Yo, when I tell y'all that it is more important than ever to vote, okay? I hope you are registered to vote because I feel like the deadline has passed. And I don't have the verbatim, so fact check me, but I feel like the deadline has passed. But I hope you're registered to vote and realize that if you're not part of the solution, then you are part of the problem. And if you're part of the problem, then that means that you're just allowing the world to be fucked up. You're allowing the world to be condemned, and you're allowing you just listen, especially if you're of color. This is what Tyler Perry said as Medea. Black people and our grandparents and ancestors marched for our asses to vote, marched for our rights to vote. So don't do them. Oh, October 9th was the deadline. Thank you, Stephen. So don't do our ancestors a disservice. Don't do the generation or two before us a disservice. People literally marched on Washington. They marched on all of these streets. Like, they literally were hoes and fought for civil rights, man. Don't take that for granted, all right? And one of the things we want to show you how to really depict, this video really depicts, there's two videos we really want to show, but this video really depicts the importance of voting. We just want to share that with y'all really quickly before we close out because it's just super duper important. And I urge you guys to share this. And we got something else to say after this, so make sure you stick around and stay tuned. But here it is, man.
Just quiet on purpose.
On November 3rd, 86 out of 99 state legislative chambers are holding elections.
There are 70 million young eligible voters, the largest and most diverse generation in our country's history.
We have the power to shape our country and communities,
but we
need all of us.
So picture this. On November 3rd, we choose.
We choose who sits in 435 seats in the House of Representatives. We choose 24 senators and 13 governors.
We choose the sheriffs, the DAs, and the judges too.
With 70 million young eligible voters, we choose to align a vision too humane to be political.
And make the future prouder than it's ever been.
So when the alarm goes off on Tuesday, November 3rd, 2020, and you arrive at your polling site to see freedom clocking 2-hour waits,
vote anyway. When the machines stop working and your job starts calling because American democracy is running late again, vote anyway.
Your vote is bigger than the color of your state.
It is a revolution in motion.
The moment you took to the streets and to the screens to share your outrage,
you recommitted to our collective dream, which requires that you lifted out of hashtags and into DC and your communities.
Because remember, this is the same year that brought a pandemic which disproportionately killed Black and brown Americans and indigenous people.
The same 2020 that took the breath of George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Nina Pop, and Dominique Fells.
So on November 3rd, 2020,
know that voter suppression will be present.
Vote anyway. You will be discouraged.
Vote anyway.
Tuesday will be imperfect.
Vote anyway.
When every headline is shouting democracy and duty in swing states,
you will be asked to believe in a dream that never came to fruition for every American. And despite your best reason, you must uphold it. Because we can't vote a world into existence that we can't first imagine.
The American dream is ours for the making.
Come alive for ancestors who need you to finish their story.
A story that begs for atonement.
Cast your promise.
Cast your promise.
Cast your vote.
Cast your vote.
Cast your vote.
But vote.
I want to say something real quick.
Go ahead.
So, just to recap, 2016, when I woke up in the middle of the night as well, and I seen Trump, won, I thought it was a nightmare. I was like, I yelled a big fuck through my house. Like, I yelled because my house was empty. And I was like, damn, what's going to happen? Like, this is kind of scary because, we watched all those memes. We seen what he was capable of. It's like, oh, damn, right? Now, let's flash forward to 2020, right? 2020, we're getting people out here to vote, right? And people my age still have this weird stigma that where I vote. And I'm just like, bro, like, do your due diligence as an adult. You know what I'm saying? And learn more. You know what I'm saying? If you don't understand something, learn more about it. You know what I'm saying? Granted, I was at one point like, damn, like we just lost. And I know Hillary got more than him. And what the hell? Learn more. Learn the game. You know what I'm saying? Don't hate the player, hate the game, but learn about the game so you can, do better with it. You know what I'm saying to you? So I was teaching my students about voting, and someone called my phone. And it was like, "Why are you teaching them that?" And I'm like, "Because they need to know more about voting." But voting and blah blah blah. I'm like, "Whoa, you're 27, sis. What are we talking about here?"
Oh no.
Right? So I'm like, you know what? And I had to break it down to her the same way I break it down to my students a little bit, without sounding like I'm like teaching something. I'm just like, and she's like, you know what? You're right. We do. You know what I'm saying? It is a local level. It's something I don't know more of. I'm like, yeah, please go seek some more knowledge first, right? So granted, if you're high in your age, like I'm saying, if you're over 18, you have a friend group of someone who doesn't understand voting and who's asking you why and hell no, use that time to have a conversation to enlighten them. And if they're very, passionate about what they're saying, say, yo, bro, do me a favor, go learn some more. And you come back to me, let's discuss this later. Respectfully, go learn some more and come back and let's have this conversation later. Because literally, I know this won't happen, but I'm going to give a quick analogy, right? A little 3-year-old, a 4-year-old is tall enough to climb on top of a counter, right? And the mom can say to them, don't put your hand on the stove when that light is on because you might burn yourself. And the kid is just like curious, like, I'm gonna do what I want to do. I don't care what you say. I don't care how much you're trying to help me. I don't care how much you're trying to warn me. I don't care how much you're trying to protect me. I'm gonna do it my way, and I'm gonna figure it out. I just want to see if you're right because I think I'm right. This is not one of those moments. You know what I'm saying? These are your warning signs. If we don't want this world to go, if we don't want this country, I'm not going to say world because we're not going to worry about this country because Lord, right? If we don't want this country to go backwards, to be the way we don't want it to be, and just because we've been privileged enough not to live what our ancestors lived through, at least believe in the people you call your friends, or at least believe in the people you call your teachers or your counselor or your
mentors,
your mentor, somebody you admire on social media. Use that time to believe in them, because I don't know who's watching this and I don't know if you even believe in it. But I'm saying the presidency is the least in real life. The presidency shouldn't be as glorified as it is, because the local stuff is what really matters. So learn about how to protect yourself in your own community and learn about how to get people in position to protect your own beliefs. You know what I'm saying? Get people in position to protect your own beliefs and vote for them and learn about when they're running. You know what I'm saying? And it's a trickle. It's literally a pyramid up. It's not even we don't live in a dictating society, people. We need to figure that part out. We live in popular sovereignty, which is a democratic country. You know what I'm saying to you? So it goes from the lower up. Inform your people, inform the kids on the block, and
facts.
No matter, and let them know what's up, because it's not one of those this cannot be an I told you so situation. We need to keep pushing, keep moving, and keep rolling.
What I want to say real quick is, I think it's super duper important to maximize not just the ability, but the visibility around voting. You know what I mean? I think we got to do better at making sure that our youth know that their voice and their vote counts and matters. Yes, we have the Electoral College. Yes, Hillary won the popular vote, but Trump won. Don't forget that there was Russian and foreign influence and collusion and whatever other buzzwords we want to use. But don't ever for 1 second think that, don't ever not vote because you think your vote does not count. Your vote counts. Your vote counts. When we look at New York State, okay, and we notice that fact check me, but about 65 to 75% of New York State voted for Trump. And those are counties in upstate New York for the most part. But since the majority of people in New York live in New York City, and New York City is a blue Democratic county or area or region, we were able to win over. We won as a state, and we were a blue state who voted for Hillary at that time in 2016. So just know that we have the power of influence. know that we have the power of our voice, know that we have the power of our tongue, know that we have to be intentional about what we put out into the universe and intentional about what we put out into the world. Know that we have a cultural and social obligation and responsibility to share the word about voting. Know that every single vote matters. And one of the strongest videos, I could not find it, and I would have shared that video today, was a video that featured Gen Zers, I'm going to say, all right? And if I'm incorrect, correct me. But it's the generation after millennials. And it's the ones who are too young to vote right now. They're too young. They're not 18 yet. And in this ad, they're saying, yo, I have to live in this world. Climate change impacts me. I'm noticing these things are happening. I'm going to have to live in the world that you guys have sealed my fate in because you guys are old enough to vote. We're only 16 and 17. We're not 18 yet. We can't vote yet. And with that tells us that we have a cultural, social, political, and social justice obligation to make sure that our youth have a voice, to make sure that the world we leave for our youth and our kids and whatever situations you're in or you're required to be in, to make sure that their world is amazing. And we have to realize that what we do today affects us for the rest of our future. This is the time to vote. This is the time to take it serious. This is the time to talk about it with your friends, your family, your siblings, your loved ones, the ones that, the hood dudes on the block, the preppy dudes at school, the dudes at the barbershop, the dudes at the haunted house and hayride that you're probably going to attend, hopefully with a mask on in October, even though we're here now, but close to Halloween. These are the conversations you need to have. And we know that voting we're oversaturated with this narrative about voting, but we really need to do a good job, man. We really need to make sure that literally this election will change the entire world. And if you ever thought your vote didn't count, take this time to realize that your vote matters, your voice matters, and you need to voice your vote. All right. And that's that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I want to transition really quickly before we close out and let you guys know that we was on Taste Made. I gotta be a bird real quick. We was on Taste Made's live last night. Okay, Taste Made has a 7.5 million followers, which means 7.5 million viewers. You know what I'm saying? And Nessa and I had an opportunity to be on Taste Made. They presented me with an opportunity and asked me who did I want to choose to have a discussion, right? So let me back it up. Taste Made had created this fellowship program after George Floyd, after Breonna Taylor. They really wanted to do their part on making sure that they helped amplify Black voices in food media and media in general. And they made sure that, they invited me. I didn't inquire about this. I didn't whatever. And if you guys know, Taste Made is the brand that flew me to Japan. And I had that show in Japan where I took a 21-hour flight, got stuck in Chicago. But Vanessa's aunt, Aunt Lorraine, shout out to Aunt Lorraine if you ever watch this. She saved me and drove miles to find me. It was just crazy. Anyway, a year ago, I was in Japan for Taste Made. And a year later, I am a Taste Made fellow, helping to amplify Black voices in food media. And they asked me, listen, you need to have one co-host with you or someone who you want to interview or talk to. And it really wasn't a hard decision. I knew right away that Ness was the person I needed to choose. And a person who I love dearly, who has a special place in my heart, said, yo, what is your heart telling you to do? Who is your heart telling you to choose? And I said, yo, my heart is telling me to choose Nessa. And this person said, well, why the fuck aren't you choosing Nessa? Let's choose. I'm like, all right, Nessa it is. And we were able to take really Gourmet Foreplay on a global fucking scale, on a global fucking level. We had people from Portugal, from Spain, from Aruba, from Africa, from fucking everywhere, commenting in different languages, saying things to us, following Nessa. And it's just fucking ridiculous that we were able to do that. And I'm not going to talk about it too much. What I will do instead is I'm going to go ahead and put the comment. If you missed it, if you missed the opportunity to really see us, to experience us in all of our glory during the Taste Made episode, I'm right now putting that link in the chat right now. All right. And this is the chat. This is the link. If you missed us on Tastemade, all right, and you missed us being live in front of this huge global audience, doing what we do best, talking about food disparities, talking about the difference between living in North Side and South Side Jamaica, Queens. You know, Nessa grew up in a house in a beautiful yard. I grew up in a apartment with siblings and family, you know, 2 bedrooms, and just really realizing the fact that food deserts exist, the fact that we don't have access to healthy food, we don't have access to, and it's just crazy. And if you don't know, Tastemade is the Mecca brand for all things travel, home, and food. So for us to be on a global platform was freaking ridiculous. And you know, we've been friends since freshman year of high school, which for us was 2004. And we were popular nerds, and we competed about our grades, but we had all the friends in the world, and everybody wants to be cool with us and friends with us and chill with us.
Yep.
Everybody. All right. And just to kind of have it full circle and now see us 16, 17 years later, whatever the math is, Nessa, correct me, and being able to do this global platform is fucking amazing. So I just want to say, listen, we're not going to talk about it right now. Just go ahead and check out that link, view that link, visit that link, and see what we were able to do. And I just want to really quick close out and say, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I love every single person here. Again, remember, you might be focusing on YouTube and seeing 6 or 7 viewers. You might be focusing on Facebook, on my page, seeing 6 or 7 viewers. You might be focusing on our Gourmet Foreplay page, seeing 6 or 7 viewers. But know that we see all the views together. We appreciate the love. Mike Fullen. We appreciate the love. We appreciate the energy. We appreciate the support. Thank you for everybody who shared. Thank you for everybody who tunes in every Tuesday. Thank you for everybody who supports us. We love y'all and we appreciate y'all. And I just want to remind y'all before I let my amazing, beautiful co-host and co-executive producer close us out the way she does. I want to let y'all know, I want to always remind y'all to be bright, to be bold, and to be you. And that's it, period. No matter what anybody thinks about you, what anybody says about you, be you, love you, and that way you can love everybody else in your life and just continue to literally reciprocate that energy. But without further ado, Ness, what's the last thing you want to say to the peoples?
All right, so appreciate you. I want to echo everything Jermaine said. I'm not going to repeat what he said. I'm just going to echo it. Like, this is me magnifying it. You feel me? We love y'all. We love the comments. We love the streams. We love the views. We love the support. Like, y'all gave Jermaine compliments. Y'all gave me compliments. Y'all listening. Y'all viewing. Y'all hearing. Y'all are like family. Period. And I'm gonna jump into Jermaine's little bird voice and like that's period on period. You know what I'm saying? Respectfully, in light of protecting Black women, that's period. You feel me? I'm hit you with the period. Ooh, period. The hand move, you know what I'm saying? But all in all, we talked about a lot of stuff today, and one thing I want y'all to take away is to always give love, spread love, receive love, and repeat. Once again, give love, spread love, receive love, and repeat. And I guarantee you, I created the formula for the cure. You know what I'm saying? We can save the world if we simply just do those things. So do those. Go outside, compliment people, smile at people, give them $1, buy them food. You know what I'm saying? See somebody crying, lift them up for the day. Literally, give love, spread love, receive love, repeat. That's all you got to do, and that's the cure.
And I just want to say, yo, Paul, thank you for saying keep doing what we're doing. Yo, Amelia, there's no such thing as little folks. Just know that. No matter if we're on top, in the middle, on bottom, there's no such thing as the little folks. We are all one family, one crew. We appreciate you. We appreciate y'all. And Asia Davies says, big ups, Diddy been running the city. Hey!
And we got Big Diddy over here. He always said, keep doing what y'all doing. Appreciate you, Big Diddy, big boss.
Shout out to Cups and Combos all day, every day. We appreciate
you.
All day,
every day. You know what I'm saying? Right,
yo, okay, Quetta from 14240. Quetta says positive vibes. I love it. Yo, appreciate you tuning in, Quetta. And I hope you tune in every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Yo, we love y'all. We appreciate y'all. And we got shit to do. We got to enjoy the rest of the night. So we love y'all. We gonna tune out and say peace. Remember to share this video, share the love, and that's what you say again. Share love, spread.
No, bro, it's
give
the
love.
formula. I need to patent this.
Give love.
Give love. First of all,
let the word repeat it like it's church. So say give love, and we all gonna repeat with you. Go ahead.
First, you gotta give love.
Give love.
Spread love.
Spread love.
Oh my God! What church you went to? That was Baptist. You went to?
That's crazy. What church
I don't know what you went to. You
listen? All I know is stop. All I know is
praise dances. What you doing? You give love, yes, pastor.
But you know the deacon is always like, like, oh, your dad's a deacon, so you know.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. Yo,
yeah, man.
We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. Thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to like, love, share, comment, and subscribe. And on YouTube, we love y'all. On Facebook, we love y'all. On Instagram, sorry, we stopped going live on Instagram. It's only an hour long. And we appreciate y'all. We are over and out. And thank you for everything, y'all.